I'm Richard Porter.
I'm Johnny Smith.
And this is Smith and Sniff, a podcast in which two friends talk about cars and many other things live at Pistonheads annual service.
Goodness. Thank you exceedingly much.
Thanks, everyone.
Lovely
Thanks for
weather.
coming. It is.
Cars, lovely people, smiles, weather, some trees.
Couple of smashing dogs down the front as well.
Yep. We saw one doing a Bicester Motion earlier. we weren't going to talk about it, but I've just said it out loud. But anyway.
The people
It's
from
fine.
Pistonheads said, you know, this is the middle of the daytime. There are children here, so if you could avoid swearing, that would be fantastic. They didn't mention dog poo jokes.
No. It was
or observations.
No, it was doing the thing. The Rallycross launch start thing. You know what I'm talking about.
So we stayed in a hotel here last night, and I was at breakfast this morning, and Johnny came down and he said, I've got a problem. And I thought, uh-oh. It's like he's had total memory loss and can't remember what the podcast is or does. But no.
Well, that has happened.
Well, that has happened. Just needs a factory reset. But no, the problem was that he'd got Payphone by Maroon 5 stuck in his head. And just by mentioning it to me over my Alpen, I then had Payphone by Maroon 5 stuck in my head. Now, most of you probably will later today as well.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, because it's a terrible song.
It's a pretty terrible song.
And I looked it up. It came out in 2012. And I'm pretty sure by 2012, public phone booths were simply toilets. In the UK, anyway.
I
can't speak for America.
Adam Levine, out of Maroon 5, would have undoubtedly had a mobile phone by then. So, here's my theory. Adam Levine, out of Maroon 5, very recognisable because he is covered in tats and he's out of Maroon 5, was having a wee in a phone box or collecting up those cards that advertise certain things that grown-ups might want to take advantage of. And a fan tapped on the glass and went, "Hey, it's Adam Levine, what are you up to?" And in a panic, he went, researching a song.
Yeah.
And then he went home and he went, oh no, now I've got to write a song called Payphone.
Yeah.
It's 2012, I've got a mobile. It's an iPhone. I don't need to use a payphone, but I'm going to have to pretend I do. Otherwise this fan will go, I saw Adam Levine having a wee in a phone box and then pocketing a card that said bum tricks on it.
Yeah.
And his reputation would be in tatters.
Yeah, imagine if he wrote a song called Lady Placards. It just wouldn't sound as good. Or maybe it would. Maybe that's what it needed. I just don't know.
I'm in a payphone trying to get hold of Mystique again. She's my favourite. But I lost her number. I should have stored it in the mobile that I already have, but can't admit to because of that incident.
Well, that Payphone song, aside from being offensive, it reminded me of a time in 1998 when I was using a payphone. I didn't have a mobile. And I'd broken down. And I remember I'd broken down in a recently purchased second car that was in appalling condition, and I bought it because my first car wasn't in very good condition. So, great rationale there. And I phoned my parents at the side of the road in the dark, and do you know what I did? Just cried. Because I'd run out
So the breakdown was mental as well as mechanical?
Yeah, I'd run out of energy, definitely money, and I knew I'd made the wrong decision. And I think that if Adam had known this, could have actually made a legit song about payphone trauma. It didn't smell of urine, so that's good. But the car had died and it was dark and I was out of tools and money.
You didn't first try ringing Busty Rebecca with a K, who's left her number in the phone box and may have been able to do rudimentary mechanical fixes?
She could do tricks, but I don't think she could do what I needed at that moment in time that involved tappets. So I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't think to do that.
Box tricks? Oh,
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you meant gearboxes. I'm so sorry to bother you. Goodbye, bye.
Prime line as well, Rich. Didn't have the money back then. Didn't have the money for that.
We were talking about this last night when what did you say in the heyday of Max Power? The back pages were incredibly profitable because of all the people who advertised, those premium rate numbers. Yeah. But if you describe that to children now, they were just like, none of this makes any sense.
Well, I mean, magazines
Well, magazines would be one thing.
Magazines are not quite as an influence as was. Although I've bought some this week and I'm thoroughly enjoying them. But yeah, I think trying to explain to young people, that makes me sound like an old git. Immediately saying the term. What would you say instead of young people?
People who aren't as old as you.
Yeah, okay, that sounds slightly better. You did used to use a payphone, and there wasn't social media, and you'd look up stuff to find stuff, either in a library or using a magazine.
What if there's a world in which social media had been invented, but the smartphone and laptop hadn't, and you had to ring a premium number to have someone go, I can't believe you didn't mention the Opal Manta in that previous podcast.
That's a thing.
That is a thing.
That is a thing. Talking of you, it's funny you should mention Max Power, because I wrote something down 2 nights ago. I saw a TV advert. Remember them? There's a new brand of fairy liquid.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
This is I think I'm very late to this party. There is a fairy liquid Max Power.
Oh.
That's on sale now. Has anybody seen Fairy Max Power? Put your hands up if you know what I'm talking about.
There's a hand up there.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah.
Is this new? Is this new?
Is this new or?
Anyone?
I mean, I don't buy fairy liquid that much. It's extremely concentrated. It goes a long way, but I don't want to sound too partridge. I just don't buy it that often.
That's because it goes a long way.
But it does go a very long way. However, Max Power fairy liquid.
Where's the extra power coming from?
It's not clear on the advert. There's still a baby on the label on the logo.
But you shouldn't use it to wash a baby.
No, you know. Or a car, it turns out, no. Which I know has been done in history. Also with Brillo pads.
Unless it's just a collab with an influencer called Max Power.
That's true.
He's Britain's leading washing up influencer. Hi, guys. Going to get my hands in the sink today. Got some great new liquids to try out. Like and subscribe and soap up.
I started to think, well, because of course Max Power was a different era and at the time was the most influential and best-selling car magazine in Europe, certainly. How would this fairy liquid be? What would its aesthetics be?
Did it have a lady with almost no clothes on it on the label?
No, it had a baby, so that's
okay.
Inappropriate.
So was the bottle heavily modified over the original, so the cap opened like that instead of like that?
Oh, suicide cap.
Suicide cap or Lambo cap.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought of that. I was looking at more the ergonomics of the bottle. It looked like it was sort of skirted at the base. So you could grasp it a little bit.
So it's got a body
more.
kit?
I think it has.
Okay.
It's a bottle kit. I don't know what...
Would you take the bottle of washing up liquid to a McDonald's car park on a Friday night to go and look at other washing up liquid bottles from fellow washing up enthusiasts?
I would wash up with a loud music playing, and it would be either Robert Miles or Scooter. You choose.
Of course. Can I do a really clunky segue?
Yeah, please.
Into cleaning cars. Has everyone seen my Honda Beat over there? Over by our stand next to Johnny's yellow Renault 5.
Ladies form a queue.
Has everybody taken time to admire how shiny it is?
There is lustre. It genuinely looked like it had had some paintwork done.
It looks like it's had a respray, as you pointed out. I'm so happy. Shout out to a chap called Steve, who is here somewhere. Steve is from Geon, the cleaning and car care products company. And he said, I can hook you up with someone who will do a bang-up job on your Beat. I'm paraphrasing slightly. And so I had it trailered down to Cornwall, which I was a bit worried about because it was in Newquay. And I was like, the coast is no friend of 90s Japanese cars. I was going to go, Steve, I've already got some bran flakes at home. I do not need any more. But no, this chap called Jody at Cornwall Car Care did this incredible job on detailing my Beat. And it looks mega to the point where I almost didn't drive it here because it's too nice to drive. And I realised this is the folly of having your car made exquisitely shiny and nice. Yeah. So anyway, I just want you to go and admire it. If I'm standing next to it, you can ask me if I fit in it, and I will say, yes, I do, because that is the life of the Beat owner, who is 6'3".
I can comfortably fit in the Eagle Quest limousine, which I'm sure more people have visited and admired and photographed than your Beat, though your Beat is lovely. And it's had 2 new wishbones this week, Rich.
I thought it was getting those next week.
No, I thought I'd go in early. I'm doing tracking next week.
Oh, tracking next week.
Yeah, I didn't have
Good.
time to track it this week, so steering wheel's slightly diagonal, but it's fine. It's just fine.
We were going away this week in our family car, and my children had foolishly been given a lot of sugar, including, and this is my fault, I let our boy, who's 11, have a Coke Zero after lunchtime, and I didn't know Coke Zero still has caffeine in it. I thought the zero meant it had nothing in it.
It'd have nothing in it, quite.
So he was pinging off the limiter as we went on a long road trip. And halfway through, my wife went, can we get one of those screens like in a taxi so that we can't hear them? And I said, well, we could always get the Smith & Sniff Eagle Quest limo. That's already got one of those screens. And she went, yeah, right. And I went, and the back seats are really far back. We wouldn't hear a peep out of them. They could just be absolutely off their nuts on sugar and we wouldn't know about it. And she went, yeah, very funny. Half an hour later, as my children were now engaged in some bizarre game of their own making, which seemed to be called Who Can Shout the Loudest, she just turned to me and went, when are you picking up the limo?
It started as a parody, but it's actually exceptionally practical.
Extremely brilliant family car.
I love it. I've just remembered last night, aside from Maroon 5, that song that we've already talked about, there's a vending machine in the hotel which blew my incredibly small mind. It's a vending machine. Again, I feel like I'm living in pre-internet West Country or something, but it sells almost everything, but it's a box about the size of one of these speakers, and I don't know where everything is in the box.
Well, it was confusing because some of the things it sells include bunches of flowers. And you're sort of a bit mystified about where those are coming from. But it turns out that some of them you push a button and then a scooter arrives a bit later. If you want a charging cable, that's in there. And you bought some lip balm.
I bought some lip balm, yeah, because I'm that kind of guy.
But I noticed there's also, I took a picture of this, sent it to my wife. Almost felt like a threat.
You did. Yeah.
No, because it's...
Is it what I think it is?
I think it was $15.99. And it's called the Date Night Set.
Rest assured, we didn't buy that last night. Neither of us.
It contains 2 times liquid silk lubricant sachets.
Sachets, great.
I just realised again, we're supposed to keep this clean, aren't we?
It is clean.
It contains 1 silk padded eye mask, a pair of love dice, and 1 black tickling feather.
I forgot about the dice. Did you take a photo of the dice?
I did, yeah.
It was like Dungeons and Dragons, but the mucky edition.
Yes.
And
Wait a minute, this isn't slaying an orc. What the heck?
Anyway, I think what we should probably do is not talk about love dice and instead talk about the 2 exquisite examples of the mark behind us.
Yes. As people who listen to our podcast might know, we are sponsored by Pistonheads, the organisers of this excellent event today. And every month we talk about a couple of cars from their online auctions. Well, today we get to do it in person because the cars we've picked are right here behind us on the stage.
This is exciting. So these cars are going up for auction, I think, imminently after you listen to this podcast. And we've got 2. We've got a large one and we've got a small one. And we're sat in front of our opposites that we've chosen. Not that
Yes.
I dislike this behind me, and I'm sure you don't dislike that.
Yes.
But
Well, we had a meeting about this in the hotel lobby last night, next to or near to the
Adam
vending
Levine
machine
from
that sells
Maroon
love
5.
dice. Yeah, Mr. Adam Levine, who was going into a room with a lady in a tight leather skirt while pretending he was researching. We had a meeting about how we were going to talk about these cars on stage, but the meeting was slightly compromised because it was late and we were all holding pints. But we did decide against driving the cars onto the stage because it felt like there may be a calamity. So instead, here they are already parked. Shall I go first?
Go on, Rich, go first.
You don't need me to tell you what this red car is, but I'm going to anyway. It's a Peugeot 106 Rally, Series 1.
Oof.
Now,
White wheels.
For me, this is just the best. I remembered that when I used to live in a big shared house in Birmingham, there were 6 bedrooms and only 5 of us. And we were told that the landlord was going to rent out the 6th room. I came home from work one day and there was a white one of these parked on the drive. And I immediately knew that our new housemate was all right. And it turned out that he was, and I'm still mates with him today. But this is the first time I drove one of those. He let me drive his Series 1 rally.
And he was at university, do you say?
No. He was... No, this was post-student.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's a damn student car.
That would have been extravagant. Although someone was telling me last night that actually they're weirdly easy to insure, or they were back in the day, because they're 1.3. The insurance company goes, that's all right. That's not too big. So, I'll give you some details on this car. It's got 91,000 miles on it. It's the 1.3 homologation special for Group N competition, 100 horsepower, but it only weighs 825 kilos. So it's brisk. And I think if you've ever driven one of these, you know they're quite short-geared and they are very revvy and they just want to be thrashed everywhere. But then they're beautifully light on their feet, as Peugeots of this era were. They are so much fun. Again, it's for someone who's tall like me, it is not the most roomy car, but you can fit, and I have fit, and I can tell you they are, I'm not going to swear.
They're worth the cramming.
They are flipping fantastic. And I would heartily commend this to anyone here to buy it, to stop me buying it, because I've already bought too many cars this year.
Talk to me about the condition.
Well, it's in cherry red, you may notice. These came originally in red, white or black, and the red is believed to be the less commonly spotted colour. Now, this has had a full respray, as you can see, because it's red and it's an older car, so it's at some point probably gone pink and a bit eczema-y. So it's been fully resprayed and it looks fabulous.
Loving it.
What else can I tell you? It's got optional electric windows, and it's a myth that electric windows are heavier than wind-up windows. Certainly in that era, wind-up windows have got loads of gubbins, so I wouldn't count that against it. And otherwise, it's got an aftermarket CD player, but if you look at it, everything else has got the original seats in it. It is, I think, an exquisite example of the mark.
It's a Pistonheads Halo vehicle,
yeah,
I would say.
But it's not so low mileage that you'd go, I better just put this away and not drive it. Just get out there and enjoy it. It'll be brilliant.
In the other corner, I was going to say, like the blue... I suppose, yes, in the blue corner. In the blue corner, we've got something larger. This is one of I'd say this is the ultimate package of the ultimate driving machine. I'll put my neck out on the line there and say that. I think this, for me, is the best era of BMW all round for practicality, handsomeness, understatedness. You know, got a bit of suave, but it's not too vapey. In fact, it's not vapey whatsoever. Predates that massively because this car's from 2002. This is an E39 M5 and 400 horsepower, 3 pedals, manual, and goodness gracious me, every time I see one of these with the staggered wheels and though the sort of angel eyes, because this is a facelifted car. This is a 2002 car. Production ended in 2003. I think it started in 98. But what a thing. S62 engine, the first M car with a V8, I think, from memory. I'm just checking my memory.
Yes. Everyone agree with me? Obviously, I know the answer. I just want to make sure you do. Good. All right.
Yes,
we're agreed.
Everybody universally agrees here. Fantastic. This particular car. So, yeah, this car's done 117,000 miles, but it's been extremely well looked after for a long, long time. Interesting, I was looking last night at the difference in power from the E34, because E34 is also one of my high-ranking MV vehicles. And the 3.8 E34 had 295 pounds-feet, and this has got 369 pounds-feet. So quite a significant torque step from the predecessor.
Do you know what these cars always reminded me of, in the best possible way? A sporty bear. Because they've got a sort of burly, friendly character to them, but then they can really get a lick on. But it's like Baloo out of Jungle Book.
Yeah, but with an independent
and friendly
back
and cuddly, but then also it can really dance and do a good song.
But it can maul you as well, because that's the thing about
Baloo
bears.
hasn't ever mauled anyone. Jungle Book, the director's cut, where Baloo goes absolutely mad on some tourists.
What, like a squaddy on the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's not do Dark Jungle Book. I'm just going to consult my notes. So this particular car, okay, It's got an incredible amount of service history here. The vendor has said that they have meticulously used parts and services from BMW main dealers, and 99% of the parts are OEM. And it's got an advisory-free MOT and has had one previous times before. I think I have never met the person who owns this car, but I was talking to one of the chaps who consigned it from Pistonheads for this particular auction, and they said that the guy is fastidious and stared at me for some time and went, "This is a fastidious owner." This is the kind of... Because the thing is about these cars is we know that parts are a little bit pricey. You know, they were hand-built beasts, and if you're going to buy one, you do need to buy a half-decent one unless you just happen to be a BMW technician, for example.
It's my memory, again, I'm going to check the crowd knows this, that this was the first M5 to be built on the production line with other 5 Series. Lesser, not as good 5 Series.
Yeah, I think
Anyone?
You're right.
No, just me. Okay. I'm looking down the side of this. The side of this car is as straight as most of the Menace and Oasis gig.
Yeah. It is fantastic. In its Le Mans blue.
It's Le Mans blue?
It's Le Mans blue.
Ah,
yes.
I was trying to remember what the colour was called. There we go. With black leather.
Yeah, with black leather, and it's got aluminium brushed dash inserts as well.
If you were Jerry Seinfeld at the start of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, that's the first thing you'd have said. The colour and the interior colour. He's obsessed.
Really?
Yeah.
I think old cars, they care more about condition before colour.
Yeah, no, colour and interior. Anyway, we normally, when we talk about these auctions on the podcast, then people can go to pistonheads.com/Smith and Sniff and have a debate in the forum about who has chosen more wisely. But we can do it here, actually, in the reels.
Audience participation.
If you would rather have the 106 Rally, put your hand up if you can be bothered.
Bearing in mind with your decision, just want to put this out there, I would gift it to you and you'd have to keep it. You're not making financial gain on it. You've got to live with it and enjoy it. Continue.
Who would rather have the M5?
That's more people.
I think that's more people.
That's more. I'm nothing against this lovely Series 1 Rally.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Noted the faces of the traitors and you'll be dealt with later. Hope you enjoy your BMW.
It's just lovely. I've nearly bought one of these several times. And I don't want to come across as old Quentin Wilson, but I think now's the time to buy.
Now's the time.
Yeah. I know. Now's the time.
Wouldn't Quentin often say that after he personally had bought one, though?
Yes, of course.
Oh, look, it's magically for sale.
Oh, I mean, with that's what old Top Gear was born with, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember him actually covering this exact era of car.
Anyway, there we go. 2 beautiful modern classics.
Continuing the Max Power chat, just for a second, not too long, won't dwell. The other day, I saw a vehicle with a bad boy bonnet. Do you remember the bad boy bonnet? No. Anybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of car manufacturers now actually use it in design, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was a big thing. In fact, it was probably mid-90s.
Explain.
The bad boy bonnet was an extension of said bonnet, and it went slightly diagonally over the headlights, thus making headlights worse, more inefficient. But it made the car look more aggressive. This is before Audi got really angry and sinister looking, so way before all that, 25 years before that.
I saw a car that was attempting that effect the other day, but I'm pretty sure was it a VW Charan? And you'd have to do a lot more to make that bad boy.
Yeah. I don't think that's a sinister-looking car, really, unless it's driven by Harold Shipman or something. I'm pretty sure not really. It's not.
He was an Espas man, though, wasn't he?
He was an Espas man, so he wouldn't have gone near a Charan.
No, serial killers love a practical Renault. It's just
serial
a known
killer
fact.
People carriers. Yeah, where was I? Oh, yeah, bad boy bonnet. So I saw a car with a bad boy bonnet, and I want you to try and guess what it was.
I'm going to say a Nissan Almera.
No, they're rare,
yes.
and definitely nobody cares. I'm gonna pull a badge out of my top pocket, and if the audience would like to repeat after me, this is what it was. Transit.
A bad boy Transit.
It was a bad boy bonnet on a Transit, a Ford Transit van, but better still. Hark. Look over there behind the audience.
Yes.
Can you see the ice cream van?
Yes.
It was an ice cream van. Unfortunately, I was driving and I couldn't take a photo for evidence, but I saw an ice cream van with a bad boy bonnet. I have never seen that in my life.
Yeah. No, it's not Mr. Whippy anymore. I want to be known as DJ Whippy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm bad now.
MC Whippy and Flake 99 crew.
Yes, on the wheels of cream.
Just sounds awful.
It really does. Sorry.
He hasn't thought that through.
Put a flake in it.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether he was two-stepping it in there or what, but he had a bad boy bonnet on a transit ice cream van. I couldn't stop giggling. Could not stop giggling for days.
What are the... So it's a bit of D&B instead of the chimes?
I'd love D&B for the chimes. Yeah, really hectic.
Kids, the ice cream van's here.
You've just reminded me, actually. Imagine if Stellantis did ice cream van chimes. Whoa. What, it would be a Ducato or a...
It'd have to be. Yeah, or what are they called? Partner or expert.
Relay.
Jumper. We're just naming vans now. It's a bit weird. Or they also make that one for Toyota, the Proace.
What?
Oh, it's called Proace, isn't it? But it always looks to me like it should be pronounced Proace.
Proace?
No, Proace, the Italian word for higher warranty claims than any other Toyota.
Is that true?
Thanks for laughing at that one. It's a bit,
is that a
bit
fact?
nerdy. I'm guessing.
Some of you who are watching, sat here watching, and I'm going to apologise for that because it's actually not as entertaining as you might think it was going to be. But I've brought a sort of fairly shady-looking ammunition case with me onto the stage. I want to show you something, which is not going to be very good for the purposes of the listeners. But hell, I've been meaning to do this for quite a few years.
Can I just refer you back to the email from Pistonheads that said, remember it's in the afternoon and please don't swear?
There's no swearing involved in this.
It's not something rude in there, is it? You didn't buy it from that machine in our hotel?
No.
It's not two sachets of silky... whatever it was.
It's not a date night kit, and it's not a box of swears. Okay. No, it's none of those things.
So, like when I was a kid, does anyone remember those Britain's farm sets that you used to get?
Yeah.
And one of my mates found somewhere one of the little pigs from that set and just very carefully, with a very fine point biro, just wrote swear words all over it and kept it in his desk at school, and we just called it the swear pig. And if we were bored in a lesson, I'd just go, mate, can I see the swear pig? Okay. Really lovely writing.
Anyway, so the item in this box in this case dates back to, I think it's about 2003. So it predates social media, really. I'm just going to say it's become an accidental heirloom to the point where it's been on a lot of stag do's, chaotic weekends away in cars that we've bought for less than £100.
This is worrying me now.
I'm going to show it to the audience, and I might explain what it's about. In fact, I don't really have a good story. It's just so I'm opening it. Okay, I'm going to put it on.
Oh my God!
Behold, it's the Italian waiter.
For the people listening at home, it's I'm going to use the word grotesque, half face mask, upper half, which instantly renders the wearer sort of poor Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen lookalike.
It's got a moustache that's actually been tugged and damaged a lot over time. It's also been repaired. I'll show you the back end of the mask. There's quite a lot of gaffer tape in there, because somebody stomped on it on a dance floor once in about 2005.
Is this mask haunted, and does the wearer assume a different personality when putting it on?
This is true.
Okay, talk me through it.
So I'll briefly just gloss over the fact that this came from the bargain bin of a local fancy dress shop in 2003, and it was 99 pence. I know that's hard for you to believe. It then came on a couple of weekends away for no apparent reason, and then it became the mask that had to be brought to all stag do's of my friends. Because when the Italian waiter's out, things happen. Okay? This has been worn by people with no clothes on in public places, not me. But it's survived all of the trauma, all of it. But the reason why I've brought it on stage today is not to offend anyone. It's because it's never fully been resolved of what this person might drive. So I'm going to put it on and I'm going to stare at you for 15 seconds. And I want everyone to have a long, hard, and this is crucial. Have a crucial think about what this person might drive. Starting with you, Richard. Okay, you ready?
Well, when you do that, it's MOT failure Sherpa. It's a minibus, but someone's painted over the inside of the rear windows with white emulsion.
But remember, he's the Italian waiter.
Oh, all right then. Uno
So Sherpas are not known to this man. We assume it's a man.
With painted over windows. When you said people start doing things when they put the mask on, I thought you meant wholesome things like bringing you breadsticks or having a really enormous pepper shaker.
No. A friend of mine tried to do a backflip and ended up in hospital. That was one. Because unfortunately, the elastic that holds it onto your face disappeared within the first half hour of it being on a night out. So effectively what happens is you have to hold it onto your face with two hands, which means everything is done no-handed.
I feel like that's actually quite good because it reduces the chance of mischief with spare hands. Although it also means you can't do the big pepper shaker.
So friends that have known me for a long time, they thought that this had died. And I'd put it away. A bit like Jim Carrey with the mask. You know, it got too much. The power was too real. Had to lock it away for at least 10 years. And I recently uncovered it when I was having a clear out. And I thought, I'll bring it to show you, Rich.
Thanks.
But we need a firm decision on the vehicle before we move on. I need closure on this.
I don't know. Again, I'm going to say heavily rusted Lancia Dedra.
Oh, a Dedra. A Dedra is a very good shout. I like the Dedra.
Yeah, that's my final offer.
I'm going to promise you all I'm never bringing it to a podcast again. Okay, that will be its one and only outing. If you weren't here to see it, tough. Okay.
If you're listening at home, don't worry. I don't think you're missing much except ongoing and unshakable nightmares.
It's not worse than Maroon 5's Payphone.
So you mentioned it again.
I'm sorry, but I had to. The other thing I've done this week, apart from find a creepy mask, sorry children, is I watched a film that I won't get the time back from.
Right.
I was hoping it would be impressive. I recently watched Smokey and the Bandit film. Great film, right? Yeah. We can all agree it's prime Burt Reynolds territory.
Yes.
And the Screaming Chicken Trans Am. I watched another Burt Reynolds film that came out, I think, 6 years later, called Malone. It's not a film I think anyone here was probably watched. It had 4.5 stars out of 5, so I thought this has got to be half decent.
On what? BurtReynolds.com?
Well, I don't know. I'm now
mustachioedactors.org. Tom Selleck's in this, therefore 5 stars.
Well, yeah, I had high hopes for it. He still looked a little bit Smokey and the Bandit-ish, and it was 80s. I thought, okay, it's got to be half good. It's not good, okay? There is a car in it.
Okay.
Some very lame stunts.
Yeah.
Effectively, also, there's a lot of close-up shots of his face when he turns to look at people, and women try and kiss him a few times in it. And what troubled me about that is the fact that at no point in the film do I see him drinking water. He smokes a lot. He's got a heavy moustache.
Yeah.
He's also sweaty because he's in a hot part of America, it seems, and he's wearing, a thick denim shirt and jeans.
Right.
Probably not a desirable kiss. I'm going to put that out there. Also had quite a few thumbs of whiskey straight.
He's wearing a Canadian tuxedo, and it's where in the US is it?
I don't know. It's an out in the middle of nowhere town. And just to give you context, I think he's a trained killer who's trying to get out of the game.
Right.
So he decides to run away in his Mustang that then breaks down. But in the film, it's not clear that it breaks down. So it pulls up on a hillside, and then he just gets out of it and stares at the view, the vista. Yeah, perfect time if he needed to go to the toilet. But no, he didn't. He opened the bonnet and then just stared at it. And then it cut to a shot of him just pushing it on his own into a local village.
Okay.
2 things were wrong with that. 1, he parked on a really, really strong incline. There's no way that Reynolds, and he's a strong man at this point, probably just post-prime Reynolds, he wouldn't be able to push a Mustang up that hill on his own. Wouldn't be able to get the purchase to start that. I think he was wearing Cuban heels. They're made of wood, aren't they? Wood doesn't grip on asphalt. There's no way.
I don't know. Has anyone seen this film?
Has anybody seen this film, Malone?
Or is this one of your dreams?
No, it's not a dream. It's a real film. I'll screen grab it and I will share it on social media.
I had an hour and 47-minute long dream about an entire Burt Reynolds movie last night. It wasn't very good.
It's time, like I said, it's time I won't get back. So
Okay, well, there
I'm
we
telling
go.
everybody about it so you don't have to watch it. But I'll share a few screen grabs.
Speaking of moustaches, I shaved my beard into a moustache the other day because my children kept asking me what I'd look like with a moustache. And just, it's the summer holidays. I'm looking for ways to amuse them. So I shaved off the rest of my beard, but my beard was quite thick, so I had quite a thick moustache. It freaked me out. It was like looking in the mirror and there was somebody else there.
Yeah, I've done
somebody with a moustache.
Yeah.
A sort of corrupt police officer.
There was a touch of Narcos about it when you showed me a picture.
Or casual Liverpudlian.
Yeah.
From the 80s.
I'm going to say Manta Driver. That had Manta Driver
It was
stamped
quite
all over.
manta-y.
Very manta-y.
Yeah, maybe a Capri, but only a 1.6 or 2 litre tops.
Yeah, never
because the
V6.
moustache wasn't good enough for a 2.8 or a 3 litre. Very weird. I shaved it off quite quickly because, there's a mirror in our hallway and there's another one in the bathroom, obviously, and there's one in our bedroom. And every time I walk past a mirror, I go, bah! Oh, it's me. Sorry, I thought we were being burgled by a Glaswegian from 1979.
Did you do any forward rolls down staircases and then finger pistols at people?
Just kept doing very poor quality karate moves on my front step.
Can I just say thank you to a couple of the people that came up to our stand earlier on today? A chap and his girlfriend said, hey, we went on holiday to Mauritius in February, and guess who was on the plane next to us? Tiff Needell. And they started giggling, and I knew that something good was going to come out of this little chat. I knew that Tiff frequented Mauritius when he can. Gets bored in winter, needs to move around a bit. Apparently, Tiff won't mind me saying this, non-stop on the journey, very small bottles of alcoholic beverages, constant requests for them. At no point was water consumed. Also, at no point was sleeping done. Instead, Tiff was caught watching constant highlights of the Goodwood Revival. Probably appraising them as well.
Did he have his holiday spec Carpaccio leather jacket on?
Whoa, holiday spec jacket would be utterly translucent, like a prawn skin.
Is he rubbing sun cream on top of the jacket just to keep it supple?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, so they've said it was quite entertaining to listen to and watch. Can you ask Tiff where he's going on holiday next year? So I will ask him. He'll definitely have a holiday jacket, though.
Would he not just be going to Mauritius again because he's trying to set a PB flight time or something? Racing drivers.
He does appreciate the Mauritian way. Yeah.
When the wind drops, it's quite breezy up here. Can I just change the subject to something that's been playing on my mind? And I don't know if it's just me, that most types of motorcycle are also quite good insults.
I don't follow.
And this came to mind suddenly to me when I realised you could go, oh, yeah, dirt bike. And it sounds a little bit sort of affectionately insulting, but, it sort of works.
Your scrambler.
Exactly, scramblers,
Filthy little
right.
scrambler.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the other Bicester events that they hold, by the way.
No, I looked up other types of motorcycle.
Genres of... Okay.
Oh, yeah, cruiser. Or, oh, your tourer. It sounds a bit like you're trying to insult somebody.
Well, your cruiser has connotations there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, stop being a chopper. That is definitely an insult.
That does. Yes, it does.
Or a hog.
You hog.
I think you hog.
Yes.
Is quite an insult.
You Harley owners group, you. Yeah.
And, of course, the underbone, which is a type of bike I didn't even know existed.
Did you say underbone?
Underbone. Apparently that's what those scooters are called, step-through scooters. Underbone, because the chassis hangs underneath, yeah.
I didn't know that you step through.
You step through as well.
Quite like to be called...
Well, just your moped is quite...
Yeah, you dirty ped.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, dirt bike is definitely going in my lexicon.
Yeah. Do you know what? We are surrounded by unbelievable sports, supercars and exotics. And in fact, there's 3 LFAs over there, which we had a brief look at.
I think one of them's driven off.
Next to that tree. And yet, the appeal of a moped, I don't know what it is about mopeds, I'm going to put this out there. They're more fun than supercars. If I had 3 mopeds here and I invited anyone from the audience to just lark about,
Get
on full
gravel
gas,
rash, then
yeah.
yes.
Can you go as full throttle in as tight a circle as possible whilst your mates chant? And one of them wears that mask that I showed you about 10 minutes ago. I'm going to put it out there. That's funnier and more entertaining than a supercar event.
As long as when you inevitably fall off, you shout, "Oh, you dirt bike!"
Yes, yeah, exactly.
At your bleeding knees.
Oh, you ape hanger. Yeah, exactly. I love
your soft tail.
I think maybe at next year's Pistonheads event, we should invite a moped mafia club, if it exists.
Or people with Paul Weller hair.
People with Paul Weller hair.
Wearing parkas, even though it's like 23 degrees or something.
Yeah, everyone just looks like Liam and Noel and extremely angry at the world, but they're riding around on quite underpowered vehicles that smoke a lot. Let's do that. I think it'd be great.
My other motorcycle observation is that the names, I know most motorcycles have a sort of letters and numbers kind of name, but a few bikes have proper names. And it occurs to me they often sound exactly like the names that a ridiculous gentleman, possibly with a moustache, would give to his fella downstairs.
Oh, gosh.
Scout. The Commando.
Scout?
Scout. There's a bike called the Scout. I'm not saying you should do
The Commander. That's a Norton.
Another list.
Yeah, Norton.
All right, love. Want to come back to my place and meet the Ninja?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
All right, Dave. How'd it go with Linda? Yeah, got her back to mine. Showed her the Black Shadow.
What's the other ones?
The worst one I thought, because it invites follow-up questions, is... sorry, that towel fell down. You almost saw the Rocket 3. What happened to the first 2?
Don't ask. Don't ask. There was an intruder. I'm sure there's a motorbike called an intruder.
No, there was, but don't, no.
Bandit. There's a Bandit.
There you go, there's one.
Is that a Suzuki? I think it's a Suzuki.
Yeah, don't like these trousers. You can see the outline of the Bandits.
I can't believe people are sitting and watching this. I'm so sorry. There's amazing cars to look at.
I forgot the other thing from the Pistonheads email said, make it clear people are free to leave at any time.
People, you're free to leave at any time. There's amazing Lotus just over there, and there's, like I said, there's a few LFAs over there. Yeah. What's the name of the new LFA, by the way? I know
they haven't announced it yet. LFA 2?
That doesn't sound right.
LFA harder.
LMFA. That's what it should be. I think that's what it should be.
No, I'm not going to say that.
No, don't.
Because it was sort of swearing.
Don't say that. No. So, yeah. So what we should be talking about is not motorbikes. We don't normally talk about motorbikes, do we?
No.
We talked about Prince. The last time we talked about motorbikes, it was how awkward Prince looked in Purple Rain. And actually how disappointing the motorbike looked.
You People watch that video and how upright Prince looks like a dinner lady going home. But it's Prince. Arguably one of the coolest men ever to have lived, not on a motorcycle.
But how can anybody jump split and not need medical attention and yet ride a motorbike so awkwardly? It's the juxtaposition I can't get my head around.
Well, he's very limber.
Yeah.
Was.
Did James Brown ever ride a motorbike with a terrible fairing? I don't know.
I don't know.
He was so sure of himself at a moment in the 80s when he might have been self-medicating. And I think back then he would have just taught himself to ride a motorbike if he hadn't already started riding one. He would have been, yep, I can do this. I'm in. Get out of the way. I'm going to have a go at this.
James May. James May, the unlikely sex machine. If you wouldn't mind getting on up. No, James Brown. Towards the end of his career, he just exclusively sang in sort of noises. He was a bit like that Golf I followed yesterday, the Owly Golf.
Oh,
yeah. Just like, do you remember the Golf GT? Which had a supercharger and a turbocharger and was not a GTI. And I followed one of those just near here. And it was quite scruffy, but the engine had obviously had something done to it.
Technician's nightmare, that car.
And it made a lot of noises, mostly this sort of owl kind of... Oh. What was that? That was one of the noises as well.
That was one of them.
And, but yeah, James Brown was just kind of... James, you want a cup of tea? Is that a yes?
Is that a yes or a no? It's a bit like...
How many sugars? I've put 7 in. Sorry, confused you with my builder.
It's like my driving experience in India with the horn.
Oh.
I've told this before on a previous podcast, that just the horns are relentlessly used over there, and it was really confusing me and stressing me out. Because in the UK, if you use a horn, basically you're going to get beaten.
Yes.
You never use the horn. I was trying to explain this to some Europeans. If you use the horn, you're going down or you're being followed home. Don't use the horn. Just don't.
I don't think I know what the horn in my car sounds like. Well, I've never used it. This is like when I was driving in Los Angeles, and I was driving with a mate who is from there, and on a sort of narrow back street, someone let me through a gap, and I gave them a wave, and my mate, who's American, went, "What are you doing?" And I was just saying thank you. He went, "Don't do that here."
What?
Yeah, we don't do that.
You don't thank people?
No, he said, "Looks like you're doing a gang sign. You're going to get a shot."
What, for saying thank you?
They don't do it.
Complicated etiquette.
But it's like that's whereas, if you were driving through downtown Naples and you weren't using the horn almost regularly, like you're sending Morse code signals to someone the next town over, people would look at you strangely. But if you tried that in Leamington Spa, you're right. Well, it's Leamington Spa, you'd get tutted at.
Oh, yeah.
You'd drive-by tutting.
The thing about the horn in India is, I asked a taxi driver who was using the horn liberally, but with a really
sorry, mate, can't hear you over all this horn.
But with a really broad smile on his face. So I said, "Well, what's the deal with the horn?" And he said, "Okay, so we use it when we want to tell someone that we're here." So it's like an awareness thing. I went, "Okay, sort of understand, although there's a lot of cars in a small space here, and everyone's doing it." And then he went, "Okay, any other uses?" "Yeah. We use the horn when we want someone to get out the way." "Okay, sort of understand that." And I went, "But why don't you guys use your indicators? Nobody seems to use their indicators." And he went, "Oh yeah, we use the horn for that." Now look, I'm not a particularly bright man, but I think there's a massive flaw occurring here already. So this is why the horn was relentless. Also, and I experienced this, not in Mauritius, but in another lovely part of the world a couple of years ago when I took the kids on holiday. The Maldives. At night, they were ferrying people around a resort on golf carts, on a pier, like a boardwalk over water which had sharks in. They did not use the headlights on these golf carts, despite having perfectly good headlights.
No, we have the horn for that.
No, they flash their headlights when another car's coming to let them know they're there. So I was, but why don't you just put your headlights on and then everybody knows where you are all the time? I don't understand.
But when your taxi driver in India said, "We use the horn to let people know we're here," did he sort of mean in an existential way?
You just beep.
Go, "Well, I seem to be alive, so..."
You just hit it more aggressively when you're pulling out.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I still don't, to this day, I don't understand.
When else would you use the horn? Well, birthdays, weddings, cousins' birthdays, just seen a mate walking by, thought I saw a mate walking by, just remembered I owe someone some money.
Saw Adam Levine in a phone booth gathering some interesting top trumps.
He wasn't making a call, despite what he claimed in that song.
So yeah, still confused by the whole horn thing. And I never use the horn.
No.
I never use it.
I'm glad you've brought up indicators, though. I wonder if anyone has seen, this happened to me last week, I saw two different cars, both made by BMW, a 7 Series, a new shape 7 Series, and then an XM. And they share the same characteristic, which I've never noticed before, which is the way that their rear indicators flash.
It's a pulse.
It's a pulse, but it's
breathing.
It illuminates quickly and then fades slowly. Now, I guess they're LEDs, so they've programmed this in. I think I've not noticed it before, certainly on the XM, because every time I see an XM, I'm too busy vomiting and can't have my eyes open.
You need a nose bag for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I usually do that thing like pretend I'm David Bowie at Live Aid doing the Lord's Prayer and just go down on one knee very slowly. "Oh, I've seen an XM. No." So they do this sort of weird flash, fade slowly. It looks to me like the indicators on a 1970s American car where some bits of the system are a bit tired.
Yeah.
It doesn't, to me, look cool or like it's high-tech and working well. It's weird.
It's bad earth chic.
Exactly.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah. If
It's
maybe
bad,
they've got like a
actually.
sort of maestro-style speedometer that bings round the things, you can't fully tell what speed you're doing because the cable's gone all weird.
I've got a car which is really smacking the needle on the stopper.
Oh.
And I'm worried it's going to snap the needle, and then I've got to dismantle the whole
That's annoying.
clock. Need to grease the cable.
But on the subject of indicators...
I've got a vending machine to help me with that. Yeah.
Sachets.
Just a simple sachet. It's all I need for that.
Sachet's not a sexy word, is it?
See, you know, like last night, if you had a car problem and you were staying in a hotel near here, near Bicester, you could just, there's loads of stuff that would help you mend an old car. I don't think they sold cable ties in that.
No, but you're set for cable ties, aren't you? Because you're stealing them off the audio guys here.
I've got a girthy one round the back. Exactly.
Your eyes lit up when you saw their
Honestly,
big cable ties.
Do you know what? I'll show you. Because
Well, while Johnny's going to get a big cable tie, my new indicator, it's not really an indicator thing as such, but you know when you let someone through a gap at night and they're in a modern car, oh, look at the size of that cable tie.
yes.
Heavens above.
Listen to the cooing. Look at the size of that.
You could use that as a belt
Touch
if you were...
it. Two of those daisy chained together on a stag do, really good belt. I think that's a really good idea because a belt on a stag do is so crucial, as I've found
Dread
out
to think
in the
what's
past.
happened to your original belt on this stag do, but yeah, I suppose that could work.
It's been torn away and discarded into a river
By the Italian waiter.
by the
Up to
Italian
mischief
waiter
again.
who's definitely
In
a
his
person. Yes.
rotten Fiat Tipo Sedici Valvoni. Or maybe not,
So did you
because they
say
were galvanised.
Sedici Valvoni?
Sedici Valvoli.
Yeah, great.
It means 16 valve, mate. The Fiat Type 16 valve,
Yeah.
if you're Italian.
Yeah.
It's not as sexy, is it?
Sedici Valvoni, though, he's the Fiat test driver he hates
He is.
Balboni.
Yeah, he does.
Because
Bit of
everyone
fashion.
knows Balboni's name.
He's got loafers that look like he's wearing a pair of Cornish pasties on each on his feet. They're so soft and contoured, but they allow him to have beautiful action on the pedals. Anyway, indicators, yeah. So, you know, someone lets you through, or you let someone through a gap at night, and to say thank you, but because it's night and you can't see them waving, they give you a flash of high beams. And it's like going to one of those corrective laser surgery clinics, but you can't see for about 4 days afterwards. And I thought, what cars need, and I'm very serious about this, is a thank you light. In the middle, it's an internationally agreed colour, and it just says thank you. You can use it day or night, it's bright enough to be seen, and that's all it's there for. Won't need it in Los Angeles, apparently, because that might have been taken for a gang light. But in Britain, where we're quite polite about these things, bip the thank you light.
What, because thank you in LA means I'm going to follow you home and bury you, or something like that?
Yeah, either that or have a nice day, said in a way that might sound like a threat. But then I've been thinking more about these lights, and I've realised as well, because you can do this now with LED technology, and cars are getting these massive sort of, you know, like
Walls of-
front bottom heck blends, that you could have not only a thank you light, but an I'm going straight on light. Because I feel this is needed for roundabouts, particularly mini roundabouts.
Yeah.
What are you up to there, fella? Are you not indicating because you can't be bothered,
Yeah.
or are you going straight on? My invention solves that. And then,
Just tells
sorry,
you.
this is the last bit.
No, you've got me. I'm hooked.
I want indicators for human beings. Because I was walking past a zebra crossing the other day on quite a narrow bit of pavement, and I saw a car coming, and I could see the driver wavering because he thought I was going to cross, but I wasn't. Now, if I'd had a I'm going straight on light about my person, I could have simply illuminated it, and we'd have all been on the same page. But no. So these are my ideas. You heard them here first. The going straight on light.
This is a great concept. I'm going to throw in a first world problem while you're there.
Okay.
If that's okay. This is quite a first world. I was looking for my sunglasses the other day, and I couldn't remember which car I'd put them in. Yeah, I'm that guy. I was rummaging around in the car because I had very, very sore, squinty eyes. I rummaged around in the car and I found a pair of children's sunglasses in the back door pocket. And bearing in mind, I'm pretty sure that neither of my children have worn those for 5 years because they're a bit small for them. I thought, look, I've got very sore eyes. I need to sort this out. So I managed to sort of wedge them onto my nose bridge. And then I caught a glimpse of myself in the rear view mirror. I looked like someone going to a Hollywood after party in 1992. You know those glasses. the sort of ones that Gary Busey would wear.
Yes.
They don't quite work on the face.
No.
I did it for about half an hour, and then I realised, no, you just look like an imbecile. You need to take those off now. So I did.
Good.
But I'm going to
Do you have them in your case along with that sinister mask?
There's only one thing in the case. There's only room for one thing, and that's the Italian waiter.
Okay.
He's staying in there on that side of things, on that case of things.
In that case of things. And a cable tie in the top pocket.
Cable tie in the top pocket, yeah. That's going to go in the Eagle glove box later on with the that aftershave, which I can't quite remember the name of. It's got some exotic numerals on it. I think it's
Kuros.
No, it says something about sexy guy.
Right.
But there was words before and after it, and I don't remember what they are. I haven't even put it on yet. I'll put it on after this.
Okay.
Because there's wasps
is the
about.
St John ambulance standing by for skin burns and asphyxiation? Johnny puts on some.
That was in the vending machine.
aftershave.
I saw that. That was $17.99.
What a burns kit.
Yeah. Asphyxiation and burns kit.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
All right, well, we really have to wrap this up because other people who are better than us want to come on this stage. So before we go, as is traditional with our podcast, I'm going to leave by sharing with you three things. The first one is that Johnny, of course, has various solo projects on the go. His latest one is he's going to hire two lookalikes of the former lead singer of Maroon. One of them is 6'7", the other one is only 5'2". He's then going to build a scale replica of a town in Wiltshire famous for its excellent railway tunnel, entirely out of the packaging of the boxes that microwave ovens and washing machines and so on come in. And then he's going to take all of this to a 90s rave. He's doing this project under the working title Big Fish, Little Fish, Cardboard Box. If that's... Thank you. If that's not to your taste...
I don't know where you dig this stuff up from. I just don't know. You dredge
I was a bit worried that people, the third bit, people are going, Chippenham? What's he doing with a replica of polystyrene Chippenham?
Imagine if someone from Marillion is here at the annual service.
Yeah, I've got a bone to pick with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, there's also the late break show, of course. The second thing I've got to say is a massive thank you to Pistonheads for having us here at the annual service, and thank you to all of you who very patiently listened to this drivel for the last hour or so.
Thanks to those who are wearing Smith & Stiff merchandise, because I have seen it. I've seen it with my eyes.
Particularly thank you to those of you who've come and said hi, but also people who've bought merchandise from our stall at the back there. And thank you to Lisa, who you may have met, who runs our merchandise stall and desperately tries to keep us organised. She has the patience of two saints. And the third thing I've got to tell you is that, the Corby trouser press, it was made using technology also employed on Concorde. Bye.
Right, thanks. But let's just say thanks to everybody for watching / listening. And cheers, mate. Thanks, mate. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So you've enjoyed this podcast, but you've had a thought. Is there a way here today that you could show support? Well, you could join our Patreon, what wonders that it brings. Early shows and extra notes on that side of things. You could buy our merchandise, we've mugs and hats but still no ties. One day we will make those pies, but in the meantime, guys, hey guys, like and subscribe, and maybe leave a nice review. Like and subscribe, we know you know just what to do. Like and subscribe, we don't want to take the piss. Like and subscribe, but we were told to ask for this. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.